Double dancing in Southampton. Use the glasses for Vanish. Be cooling out in the whip, but I done there every girl on my list. KD at the 3, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Speed at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Now a handoff looking right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Here's Watson now on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, Elliott. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. He'll return it from the 6. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they try the right side here. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And out across midfield down to the 45.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Come back, come back. Target.
Now a first down throw. Watson. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Fuller. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quicker. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Third and long. It's Watson. Steps away to his left. He finds his target, Fuller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. From the red zone now, Watson forced out to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. As his guys are in for 6, and the Texans have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Twisting away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Give him 30 yards there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing now is Mahomes. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big 30-yard play on third.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On second down, here's Mahomes. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Going to need better protection here. Third and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Working from the gun, Mahomes flushed out right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Now a first carry for their fullback. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now Watson. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They go play fake. Mahomes. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Mahomes now to throw. Flush to his right. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to throw, Watson. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now it's Watson being chased out left. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. They're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Again, it's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Dancing to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Again to Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. He juked him, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to bring up the third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up the third down.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. The give is to Elliott, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Mahomes to throw on second down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big play.
And I know this is the NFL, so they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play.
That's pulled in at the 32. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes the Texans now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Here's Watson. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They're going for it. It's Watson, forced out to his left. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Now Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And they'll go on the ground. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Elliott. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
On third and long, it's Mahomes being chased out left. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments, eluding the pressure right. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun on third down, Mahomes drops it underneath to Elliott, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From his goal line here, Watson. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And give him a gain of 37. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Finding room inside the 40. Oh, some strong touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Texans will extend their lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Especially when you got a guy going off like this, I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
Whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to get him. And that's sack number 18 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Dancing to his left. And he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Taking it about the 16. He belted that thing, a leg of steel, and an even 70 yards on the punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll run it here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back now in Arlington. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Watson off play action. Out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. On 1st down, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. Now they'll run it on the toss. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson steps away to his left. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 28, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail!
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Forced out to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Mahomes got to have this one. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of it. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game. Just
a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he comes back with one complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail!
Mahomes now on first down, being chased out left. Now he's going to throw deep back over. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. And he moved left there, Charles. Little danger play. He didn't throw toward that left side, went over the middle. Got the 6, though.
Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that when you told him as a kid, don't touch the stove because it might be hot, he touched it anyway. And this one, he got away without getting burned.
This fielded at the 2. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Now let's go.
Back to throw here. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Z.
to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play here for Dallas. 45 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks. He's back to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans are going to win the football game. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Houston, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Dallas, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well.